What is good, everybody? We are here. We are live. It's love. It's peace. It's chicken grease. It's your boy Breaking Bad Boxing, and it's Big Steve. We got Big Steve MMA. He is a professional gambler. He does this for a living. He all chills, no thrills. He has a family to feed, and he feeds it off of gambling. So I got a professional gambler on here. We have our 5-star bets. You guys know how this goes here. We rank our best bets from 1-star to 5-star in terms of how you want to play it in units, what you think is the best bets of the week. Start off from our least most confident bet, all working up to our most confident bet. Steve, let them know where to find you. Let them know any introduction, anything you'd like to say, good sir.
Thanks for having me, boss. I tell you what, that whole professional gambler just really sounds a bit faggy, to be honest. So I always go with full-time gambler. I focus on it full-time. What's a professional gambler? Are we professionals, or we just spend too much time on it? I will never be a tout. I'll never charge for my picks, so I don't think I can say I'm a professional. But yeah, I do a full-time, so I like to call myself a full-time gambler. I Monday to Friday to Saturday, and I enjoy it. And I might not do it forever, so the edge is slowly evaporating. It's getting harder. It's harder with the kids and whatnot. The UFC is getting more boring to watch. So we'll see. But thanks for having me on, man. You're a very sharp fellow, especially in the boxing. So I don't mind being on your channel, even though it's a little bit smaller.
A little bit smaller. I appreciate that for the little sidebar. Not everybody's cup of tea, Steve, but you're mine, so that's okay. With that being said, though, I like how you say that the UFC is getting a little bit more boring, because I agree there. In terms of the edges evaporating, do you want to kind of touch on that a little bit, where the lines just are a little bit more shit day in and day out now?
Yeah, man. I don't mind. Like, I've been doing this for 7 years now, and obviously the first year, second year, I was nowhere near as good as I am now, but I was just betting like the biggest square, making the most money. And I'm like, this shit is easy, dude. And I was betting on soccer at the same time, and just impossible. Like, almost feels impossible to get an edge, because really, really old sport. The favorites are incredibly juiced. You go with the handicap minus, they're going to win by 2 goals, and it's still incredibly juiced, and it's like, it's not worth it, right? But this man brings a good point. 1772 KK. Maybe you should get a more easier name to roll off the tongue. But during COVID, man, like, that's when I decided I want to do this full time, because my job made me sit at home for a bit. And I was like, hell yeah, I don't care. I'll just spend more time gambling. And the more time I spent at home taping fights, the more money I was making. I was like, well, there could be a way to make a living off this, because it's clearly the more time you put in it, the more you get in return. Before that, I was mixing my full-time job. And man, it was just like, you get GM3 round 1 sub over Bartosz Basinski, who would instantly dive into a guillotine, and you'd hit it. And it was like paying $7 plus 600. And then right after that, Basinski would fight Andrew Muniz, who is like, has a bunch of round 1 subs, and he'll be paying like $7 again. And then he would dive into a triangle. And it's like, wow, this shit is so easy. Like, now it's like, when it's a really obvious round 1 KO, round 1 sub, it's paying like barely plus money, or it's like pick 'em, like minus money. So like the edge, a lot of edges have gone live betting. I used to love live betting. You like, a lot of people are going to bet on Duncan, when as soon as it gets into round 2, right? And back in the day, he would be a big underdog, because he would get the shit beat out of him by McKenny, or he would get his back taken for 5 minutes. Now he's going to be minus 200. I guarantee you, he will lose the round. He might get 10-8'd, and he'll be minus 200, because the books are sharper and everyone's already live betting before the round's even over. You know what I mean? So it's like, everything's a little bit tougher. The fights, the money lines. We still have bets. I got like 5. I just got just enough bets to discuss on this show, thankfully. But yeah, you have to be a bit more disciplined, which thankfully after 7 years and a lot of losses, ups and downs, I am. So yeah, that's where we are, bro. I'm just noticing a big shift. The sport is becoming a bit like soccer, and the more popular it is, the more mainstream, the edges are slowly going to go away, because the bookies are going to know all these fighters. They're going to be more accustomed to it. Vegas is going to be more accustomed to it. But also, we still have regionals, which a lot of wrong lines on the regionals. So the edge is still there.
Yeah, I mean, what's up, PJ? Hope you're doing well. For some reason, boxing seems easier, especially since they allow live decision and finish bets. I couldn't agree more. The best edge in boxing, and this is just outright, is always going to be live betting. You're always going to get your live betting in boxing is going to be the best way to get your best place, and that's always going to be a fact. But regardless, you got 5 bets. I got 5 bets. Let's jump in and tell them what the people want here for you. What is your 1-star bet aka your most least confident, yet confident enough to bet to kind of give out today for boxing or MMA?
All right. I just want to say I agree with that. I agree with that man as well. The one to I started like last 2 years focusing on boxing, and I thought, you hear all the corruption and rubbish, and obviously it's been a sport around a lot longer than MMA. But yeah, I sometimes find it easier than MMA. Maybe it's just less things to cap. Boxing, head movement, defense, and that's it. Anyway, I don't actually have a full 5 bets.
Don't make it sound so easy there now, champ. All right, now don't disrespect
MMA,
science.
There's a lot in MMA, bro. There's a lot of shit we got to look into MMA. Jiu-jitsu, wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, different variants, definitely. More variables.
And then you have to think, how will the fight play out? Like, will they grapple? Will they? Whereas boxing, they're always going to stand. Like, there's no ifs or buts. All right. So I don't actually have 5 bets. I said I do, but if this was yesterday, I had a really good PFL bet that hit, and I could have given that as maybe like a 2 or 1. But let's just start with one bet that I have, and then I'll find a 3 or 4 during the show. So
it's not a must. If you only have 4, it's all good.
I got a Leaf. half unit on Leaf Tehran, the box up.
Okay.
Right. You can. I bet her last time as a favorite. She won via knockout over some French undefeated chick. I wasn't really sure. I was like, I don't really hit money lines like this. There's not much tape on the Frenchie. But I was like, you know what? This Leaf chick seems, she's just the power alone. And she won. It was in France too. And I was going to have, 1.5 units. I was talking to you in private. And I reduced, again, a little bit of regret. And now she's fighting Beatrice, who seems to be a 2-time Olympian. Never taped her before. I taped her. And I'm like, man, this line is a bit crazy, right? $4.50. It's gone up to $5 now. I clearly have no motion. Usually when I tip stuff out in my Discord, the people steam it and it goes way down. And yeah, the action is still coming on Beatrice. I guess people are parlaying her, and that's a very common thing in boxing I've noticed. Big favorites get parlayed. But man, I think female boxing is a little bit different. This Elif is also undefeated, and she doesn't seem like a scrub, like someone that they're setting Beatrice up with. And if Beatrice beats her, in my humble, low-level boxing kappa opinion, I do think that this would be Beatrice's best win, hands down. So, and Elif has already won as a massive underdog in round 1 via KO on short notice, upper weight class.
Shauna Brown.
Yeah, she won.
Yeah,
She's
I gave that out on my Twitter for free.
Yeah, so I wasn't
not the knockout. I just gave her out at plus 500 because that line was insane.
There you go, and we're getting something similar now. So that I wasn't accustomed to her then. I only taped her for the first time for her last fight, and I was like, man, this chick is good enough to be, again, massive underdog. So yes, she will probably get lit up a bit. Like, she does have really bad defense and bad fundamentals, but it's women's MMA. Women's boxing. It's a bit different to male. And Beatrice is not someone that's like stick and move. Like, she'll brawl. So that's where I'm at. Half a unit. I need to do more tape because obviously I just got reverse COV'd. So I want to see if I'm donating. But there's got to be some value. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So my 1-star play, PJ, to answer your question, this is boxing and MMA talk, but this fight we're talking about is women's boxing. Elif near Tehran and Beatrice Vieta. So I taped this fight probably a little bit more heavy than I should have. I'm very familiar with Elif near Tehran. I'm 2 for 2 for betting on her. The plus 500 versus Shauna Brown. 1 second, my dog's pissing me off with the ball chewing.
This is live, lads. This is live.
His ball chewing was pissing me off. Anyways, Elif near Tehran. I took her against Rima Ayadi. I gave that out on my YouTube against as a knockout here. So Elif near Tehran, she moves forward like a zombie. She has no head movement, no defense, quite frankly, for you. But she cracks, great sweeping left hand, good left hand to the body, limited foot movement. She has decent boxing acumen, but her technical skills are just not there. And she's fighting Beatrice, who does have good boxing acumen, but shout out to my boy Guru, has been regressing fight over fight specifically. So the biggest thing about her aggression, too, is that she pulls back square in a straight line and drops her right hand. What is Elif near Tehran's best punch? A sweeping left hand and a left hook. All of these things give me simple math here for you. When you give me a plus 900 at this point here for Elif near Tehran on Bet365 by knockout, a plus 900 on Elif near Tehran by knockout. So the books have that, what, in terms of a probability? She's going to win, what, 9%? If these women were to fight 100 times, you're telling me Elif near Tehran's only knocking her out 9 or 10 times? Get the fuck out of here. I personally cap that she's knocking her out minimum 25 of those times. So just on the number alone, my 1-star bet is Elif near Tehran plus 900, Bet365 by knockout. So we kind of have a similar bet. You took her money line outright, which possibility. This fight could have a draw with a knockdown if it happens. And Beatrice has just been regressing fight over fight, and her defense has been lacking lately. So with that being said, let's move on to your 2-star bet. What are you thinking?
It's a good question. All right. So I'm going to give you this one. And because it's almost a max bet, and it also goes against something you said on the Johnny Boxing podcast. Because I was like, well, I'd love to chop it up with him tomorrow just so we can disagree. You know, it's always good when people disagree a little bit. So I have, and I used to do this when I was younger and I was more square, which I was just talking about, you know, back when things were easier. I'm looking for like, you know, if you think a fight's going to end in round 1, round 2, I was looking for like a decent enough doesn't go or under 2.5. That's completely chalky, but not as chalky as it should be. So a good example is Tai Basa versus Harry Hunsucker, if you remember him from heavyweight. Basically 1 round bum, and it was paying $1.25, which is like minus 400 for under 2.5 rounds. Obviously, Tai got him out of there in 3 minutes. All right, so I max bet that. So this one's similar. I got Torres and Grant Dawson. Doesn't go to the decision, $1.25. I think that's minus 200. And basically, yeah, you got the Torres round 1, and then I was even going to play the under 1.5 rounds, but because it's Dawson and you just don't know. But you know, I think he's going to maul Torres. He will take him down round 1, might not submit him. He'll take him down round 2, might not submit him, but he'll go for ground and pound. He'll get his back, and he'll take him down round 3. And at that point, you know, Torres has been submitted twice in the first round, knocked out, and like lost every single time in round 1. And he just looks like he's a bit gassy, a bit flaky. And I was going to parlay this with another fight just so I have less. I got 1,800 on it to win 400. I was going to parlay this with a similar fight. So I went to the McKenny fight, and the McKenny doesn't go is $0.07. So you put $1,000 on it, you win $70. So that, I personally think that's accurate, and that's what the Torres Dawson doesn't go should be. There is no way this goes to a decision, like almost no way. Like Dawson will hunt for a submission to the last second. He's got a couple of like 30-second rear naked chokes. He's got a 1-second KO against Santos, right?
Santos.
Yeah,
that's what I was literally going to bring up. It has to be the dude that fought Santos if that's going to happen. I think Dawson's the definition of flaky, but I'll let you continue.
That's it, bro. That's it. Well, if he's flaky, then he'll probably get knocked down, and then I won't even have to sweat him grappling to a decision. But yeah, I think it's Torres early or Dawson 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of people that Dawson couldn't finish, but I think Torres should be much easier to finish, whether it's ground and pound or So not my best bet, $1.25 minus, but I'm max betting it, and I'm looking for number 3 now. So as we're talking, so.
Alrighty here. Let me jump to.
I should say by tomorrow I'll have a lot more bets. So I'm just seeing what one of those bets I can give live on air today. You know, before I lock it in tomorrow.
Well, this is purely a political play in boxing, to be completely honest with you, for my 2-star bet. Hugo Metcalf is going to have the size over a guy like Sean McComb. So it's Sean McComb, Hugo Metcalf, draw plus 1,500. So you have Sean McComb, who makes every single fight close, getting dropped by Ben Crocker in the first round, going life or death with him. Not really going life or death with him, but eking out a points decision following that. Going life or death with a 50-50 fighter. And then, again, fighting close to Arnold Barbosa Jr., which I thought he beat Arnold Barbosa Jr. live. Rewatching it, I thought it was way closer than I thought it was live. I just think what we were seeing and how bad Arnold Barbosa looked in that fight was incredible. Hugo Metcalf's going to be huge. He's going to be fighting in Monaco, which is the biggest thing to me. And this is such a funny thing. Do you know what his nickname is? Do you know what Hugo Metcalf's nickname is?
No.
The Fresh Prince of Monaco.
That's
So that alone leads me, just because of how much boxing I've watched, Sean McComb's going to have to go in there in a 10-round fight and win a guaranteed, no question about it, a fighter that fights close is going to have to go in there and win a guaranteed, no question about it, 7 of 10 rounds. Give me Hugo Metcalf by a decision. Give me Hugo Metcalf draw. I think the draw is probably the most live play, because I think McComb probably wins a clear 6 of those rounds, especially since he can go to the gears as it gets late. Good bounce, good in and out step, but he's getting older. He's getting flash knocked down. I wouldn't doubt it if Metcalf, quite frankly, makes this fight way closer than people think, and then that alone gives him the hometown robbery political decision. So I like the draw on the Metcalf, Malcalf, however you pronounce his name, and Sean McComb fight. Like the draw, like the McComb decision. And that leads me to your next bet.
Nice. Are we allowed to discuss back and forth, or do we just move on straight away? Yeah. Is Sean?
If you have thoughts on it, please give your thoughts.
Yeah, I just thought you were going to shit on my Torres Grand Dawson, but is Sean McCone?
I don't think there's much to shit. I think your Torres Grant Dawson assessment's pretty damn good. To me, that's just the lines. Quite frankly, I just think Torres is just going to get chinny ass Dawson, who's been finished in the first round twice in his career, out of there. Getting stopped by a punch, entering against Bobby King with zero entrance, getting stopped by a jab against him is absolutely credible. Manuel Torres definitely hits harder in this point of his career. And I could definitely be overrating the finish that Manuel Torres had on Drew Dober. That's no doubt about it. Especially since Grant Dawson doesn't necessarily shoot those exactly low single types that Grant Dawson had him in, or Drew Dober had in that position. So I just don't really think there's much to shit on there. I think you made a really good point. I just still think Manuel Torres is going to get him out of there. I think all the equity of Manuel Torres to bet on him is by finish. And that just covers the end that people are screaming at their fucking TV, finish him, Grant. Well, I'm sitting there like, fuck yeah, Grant, keep fucking not finishing him. Even though he is pretty tenacious, but we've seen Grant Dawson gas in fights. So,
Yeah, I think it's more of a fade on Torres, who it seems like he falls apart. I think Torres is our very own McKinney that we just haven't seen because he
Rondo,
never
what's up,
gets out
playa?
around.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I think Torres is the Mexican McKinney. That's pretty much it, and we'll see. We might see that in this fight when he finally gets out of round one for once, thanks to Dawson. Yeah, can I ask you, Sean McComb, is he the favorite in this fight? I haven't really been doing much watching.
Sean McCone's a minus 350 favorite. He keeps every single fight close. I think Miel Calf, again, is super live for a decision in his hometown and super live for a draw. But yeah, he's like a minus 350 favorite. So,
okay, hometown guy. And okay, if there is a robbery, it would probably be a draw, you're thinking?
Yeah, that's usually the way it goes. So I think a draw, you could sprinkle on it and you could play because realistically, I just, unless he gets knocked out by Sean McComb, who can't punch out of a paper bag,
Huh.
and he's definitely not the size advantage in terms of who has the size advantage, definitely going to be Hugo in this case. Yeah, give me the draw. Give me the Hugo decision, man. So I think that covers all bases, quite frankly, because again, I don't think the Fresh Prince of Monaco is losing in Monaco. Rondo, hope you're doing well, playa. Let's make this money tomorrow, brother. So what's your next bet, Big Steve?
All right, what I'm going to do is, because I'm trying to scramble here to get number 3. I'm just going to do.
If you want me to go next, because I can still chop it up for my next one if you want, so you don't have to scramble so much.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my number 2 and my number 1, and then I'll just give out like a couple of bets that I'm going to lock in tomorrow for people, and they can choose what they like. All right.
Let's do it.
I'll give everything away. So my number 2, I'm pretty confident about 1 and 2s. I got Jay Opetaya rounds 1 to 6. I gave that out on Twitter. I basically think, first time taping Old Mate, the German, undefeated German, kind of the same as the Ben Whittaker German that was undefeated, just fought recently. 40 years of age, this one. This guy looks much better than Ben Whittaker's opponent, but like he actually more skilled and better feet and faster hands, and he actually looks bigger than Jay, which is crazy. But the guys that he's fighting are just huge bums, man. Like the other German that fought Ben Whittaker, he had some okay records on his own record, but this guy just, every second guy is just fat, short, proper cab drivers, and yeah, I basically, it's just a squash match. A typical, when I had a month of just smashing boxing, it was just taking advantage of squash matches. 4.5 rounds was pick 'em. I thought about it, but I see some Jay Opetaya just, it's taken some bums to like round 5 and round 6. Even that last Italian guy, I'm pretty sure it was short notice, and he was undersized when they weighed in. Took him to round 5, and then he broke his jaw. He can be a little bit patient, doesn't want to put himself in harm's way. So maybe he might be patient here. So I reckon worst case, this goes to round 6. So I got Jay round 1 to round 6. Getting pretty close to minus 200, a little bit of CLV on it, but it's a bit safer. I think under 5.5 rounds is good too. It was pick'em. A lot of people got that, but I only had 4.5 rounds of pick'em. And now they're all a bit chalky. Obviously, a lot of money is coming on this under now. So I got 2 units on this. 1,200 to win 600 and something. Yeah, I think worst case, if Jai is patient, it goes to round 6. But obviously, there's not much footage of this German guy. I don't know anything about his chin, but who's going to crack him? He's literally just been fighting cab drivers. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think this fight gets out of round 2. I don't think that fight gets out of round 2. And I'll tell you what, I have way too much invested in this fight, and I could be that guy. That could be my green eyes talking, because if it gets out of round 2, I'd be a little upset. If it gets out of round 3, I'll be pretty fucking pissed. I'll tell you that much. But I don't think Sin Cara's good. I think his game's kind of perfect to walk into something. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets him out of there in round 1, to be honest with you. I think he's going to walk into something. My overall notes actually on Sin Cara, which are funny because he went life or death with Victor Piachal, who's fucking like 27-14. Not someone I highly respect. And Rondo, in terms, I think Jalen Turner's going to club and sub Edson Barbosa, and then Peyton's going to anti-wrestle the shit out of Henry Cejudo. So I think that's a safe play for Jalen Turner and Peyton. But really quickly, Sin Cara here versus Sands. Some of my notes have LOL in them, so I think that's just kind of funny here for you. He drops his hand when he likes to throw sweeping shots. He likes to pull people into counters. So what are you going to do? Pull Jao Patawa into a counter? You have to beat Jao Patawa, you have to be a boxer that can push him backwards. And I just think Jai Apataya, man, and I could be way overconfident in it. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets him sparked out of there around 1. And when you just kind of look at like how and I think I think you brought up the perfect example, the Ben Whitaker scenario. I thought Lima was going to be tougher for Boots than he was. I thought Lubin was going to be tougher for Virgil than he was. I'm just done doing that. I'm done doing that with these squash matches for these super high level opponents. They're getting him out of there like nothing. Sequeiro is tough, sturdy, and has a low base. I think Nikita, even though he came in on short notice, was big, never been finished, and had a big high confidence. He got Elias Zorro out of there, catching him with a sweeping shot against the ropes. And Elias Zorro is younger and bigger and still probably has fought a little bit better of experience than a guy like fucking Sin Cara has. So I'd be shocked if this gets out of round 3, to be honest with you, man. I don't think it goes past 2. I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and, I think we're going to see a pretty hell of a performance by Jai Pataya. And if it did get out of round 3, I'd be a little bit surprised, to be honest with you. That means he just started super slow. And I think we're going to see more of a Elias Zorro performance, or how he hurt Nakia in the early rounds before he actually got him out of there and stepped on the gas in the 5th. So,
yep. That was your same bet as well as mine? Number 2, number 3?
No, I mean, I wasn't going to give that out just because I have so much invested in it, but I guess it doesn't matter. I have, technically in terms of units, man, I have again, way too much invested in it. It's such a joke. I will never put this much. It's learning as I go along, right? I literally have, let me just pull it up. I have 2.7 on the under, 4.5 at minus 135. I have half a unit on Jai 1 through 2, and I have a full unit on him 1 through 3. So
that sounds like that's your number 1 bet.
it was easily my most confident bet I just think he'd spark one of those perfect setup matches that we were talking about. So that is my most confident bet. I wasn't going to give it out next, but I'll just give out my most confident bet, and it's right then and there. My next bet would be Peter McGrail. I think Shabazz Massoud and Peter McGrail both fight really close. I think Shabazz Massoud may have a slight cardio advantage in this case here, but I think Peter McGrail has the better inside work, better body work. Peter McGrail's still at dog money. I just don't understand it. It's a 50-50 fight, in my personal opinion. It's a true 50-50 fight. If you gave me even money, I wouldn't touch it, but anything plus 140 and up, I think is a good bet on this one. So Peter McGrail, I think he's a pressure fighter, but he doesn't throw out a whole lot of volume, but he's going to be pressuring Shabazz Massoud, who's so comfortable with sticking on the back foot. So that's everything I got, man, here for you. Rondo, I'm glad we're on the same page, 1 through 4. I should have took the 1 through 4 instead of 1 through 3, but if we get the under 4.5, we're kind of covering all bases still. So it's all good. And what do you think about that, Big Steve, on the under 4.5?
Yeah, I think that's a fine bet, man.
Okay.
And I think 4 to 5.5 is like it's a massive confidence smash spot. But I just play it super safe because again, there's nothing worse that I hate. It's like let's say Jay got him out of there second half of round 5, and I played the under 4.5, and I hate those feelings. I've had them many times over 7 years. It's like, wow, I called the fight perfectly, but I missed out by 20 seconds because I got greedy. I took 20 cents better on the 4.5 when I could have taken 20 cents worse, and actually won my bet, and now I've lost my bet. So, being full time, I need to profit. So I can't have him knock him out in round 6 if I play the under 4.5. So I'm just playing round 1 to 6. Over the years, I've been burnt many times, so it's just a safer play. But I could easily see him knocking him out round 3, round 4. I think that's a sweet spot, but it could very well be 2. I mean, how many people has Jai knocked out in round 1? Like almost one guy, essentially. So
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
that guy,
I'll tell you what. I mean, he's definitely builds into it, but he doesn't build as slow as like people like to make it seem.
hmm,
And I think it's a statement spot. I just finally think 40-year-old. I think it all just kind of matches up. And I don't know if you saw this, man. Not to look too much into it. Did you see Sin Cara's face? Like he looked like he just got done sparring 40 minutes ago at their weigh-ins. He had a full black eye.
I will say the one thing I did notice, he looks actually bigger than Jai, which is
He
a bit crazy
was.
to me.
I did. And you know who was also the last opponent that Jai's fought that's been truly bigger besides David? Elias
Who's that?
Zoro.
Oh yeah, got him out of day one. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I would be a little bit pissed off if he took him till round 4 to get him out of there. You know, round 3, let's just hope it's at least round 3 minimum for my sanity's sake. So,
Yeah, mine too, bro. I don't want to be sweating this shit. Like I don't want to
Kiza,
be
what's up?
relying.
Kiza, what's up, my brother? Yeah, I'm going to be literally waking up, drinking a coffee, and it'll be onto it. So, I already gave out, in this case, Peter McGrail. We're on to, I guess, our last. What are we on to in this case? Our last bet here, then, in this case?
It's my last one. It's my number one.
I essentially am in my last one too because I already gave out my most confident one with the under. So
With the
give
Jai.
out your last one and your best one, good sir, and then we'll just free ball it a little bit.
All right, we'll free ball because we're going pretty quick, which is pretty good. Yeah, so I should say I do have a McKenny Duncan under 1.5 rounds. It's my biggest bet. It's $900. Actually, biggest bet after Jai or Pitaya. But I got it minus 200. I'm not going to give that out on the pod. It's extremely, extremely chalked. We're giving bets that people can tail us on, right? So I should say that's the reason why I don't have 5 bets. There's a couple that the lines is completely going on, and I should say I think that under 1.5 rounds on that fight is probably a bit crazy because I'm not feeling overly confident. It's just the McKenny under, so I locked it in. But really, if this goes into round 2, I'll be sweating a little bit because Duncan's not the best finisher. But for my number one, it's a under 1.5 rounds with a good line still available and a much better line than McKinney Duncan, and that's the Turner Barbosa. All right, probably everyone in this world is on that. And there's my boy Luca at MMA. It's his hammer of the week, which it's like a max bet for him, and it's the first under I locked in. I actually took a bit of time to think about the McKenny Duncan because it was a dollar worse than minus 200. I'm like, oh, it's a bit chalky. Duncan's not the best finisher. I sweated when it went into round 2 against Nazim and Bonfin. The Bonfin almost went over. So I was like, Duncan has gone to decision a bunch, but Turner, look, it probably correlates with him like 90% of the time. Barboza is going to be like sticking and moving. He's going to skirt the octagon. How many knockouts does Barboza have recently? He's more of a decision guy. He likes to stick and move. But if you like Turner, which I do as a money line, it's $1.30. His win equity is under 1.5 rounds. He's gotten Bobby Green out of there. He's gotten Riddell out of there. Jamie Malarkey even went into round 2. He still has round 2 equity. He landed a big, massive head kick that would have killed a normal human on Dan Hooker in under 1.5 minute mark. So yeah, he's got round 2 equity. So most likely it will be a round 1. He can club and sub, as you said. Even back in the day, he got my boy Medic out of there. Hurt him with body shots and then guillotined him. He has a good rear naked choke as well. So sub upside, KO upside. I think he hits different. I think he's one of the hardest hitters in the division. He basically knocked out Moicano twice, teeped him to the gut. Moicano was like, oh, ran away, hurt, and then he drops him with the first punch that he landed. So he landed 2 strikes, almost knocked him out, and he didn't. So I actually lost money on that under 1.5. So that's a risk here. Like it could
I
go
bet Moicano. I remember I bet Moicano live that fight.
smart. But I just thought he was going to get knocked out in round 2 because it just looked like whenever he got touched, Turner almost killed him.
It was
And
just I could see an adrenaline dump coming from a mile away. I'm not that smart though.
I do play a lot of these fights ends round 1 and round 2 because a lot of the time I get burned on my 1.5 rounds. It's second half of round 2. So I'm potentially thinking because I said I'll get really aggressive in December. Who gives a shit if I lose? I'm up for the year anyway. I might do another unit on Turner round 1, round 2 if it's going to happen. Because a couple of times he has finished, Kulibao and that bum, the Native American bum, Brock Weaver.
Brock. Yep.
Yeah, both of them will finish in the second half of round 2. So just in case, but full unit on Turner under 1.5 rounds plus money, but $1.75, whatever it's now, man. I think it should be like minus 200. Like it's Turner runs through these dudes like 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. So Rondo, I feel you, man. When I wake up to watch like Japanese boxing, I'm waking up at like 1, 2 a.m. Then I go into the office at 5:30. It's insane, man. But that's what it is to be a boxing and MMA fan. It's what it is. Fonts, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. We'll chop it up right here when we get to our session. Let me just talk about my last bet here for you. Steve just gave out a banger there. With that fight, I think there's a lot of equity in Jalen Turner's submission. I think he can come from club and sub, just like I think come from club and sub. I think he can get the fight to the ground here just by pure grappling. Jalen Turner has sneaky ass front chokes. There's a lot of things that can come from it. I think Jalen Turner too, talking about not wanting to hurt people. What's the easiest way not to hurt someone and win an MMA fight? Grapple. Just a lot of different angles, in my opinion. So I think a submission is live, even though the line has crashed on it. It came down like 80 cents over the week. So maybe not that much, but because it was when I checked for his submission. Let's go look at what it is right now.
I don't disagree. That's probably value, but it's just, to me, it's a bit too volatile. Again, it would be like losing money on the upper tire, like by 1 round or by 30 seconds. Like if I play the sub and he knocks him out, it's like money left on the table, you know? And then it's eating away from my under 1.5 profits. Again, I just think about the way I bet is profit preserving, because I don't have as much fun as I used to. You know, poke a little bit of sub, poke a little bit under 1.5, poke a little bit around. I'm just like, I need my $600 from the under 1.5. And if I lose like 200 on the sub, it's going to piss me off, because that's like 200 less that I have. You know, so I'm not having as much fun anymore poking different things. I just like to be, maybe I'll put like $50 on the sub, but I do think that's the value play. I think Barboza will probably go for a takedown, even though he's a striker, and he might go into a guillotine or something.
Yeah, I could see that happening, especially if he's hurt. So for my final play, I like Frank Martin over Francis Bartholomew by decision. You can get it at plus 100, which I think is crazy value. I think it's value all the way up damn near to minus 130, just because I would line this at minimum minus 200. We have Frank Martin, who's moving up, not a big puncher, hasn't been a big puncher in a long time. Haven't seen him in a year off, so it's going to take a little bit of time for him to acclimate to the ring and to the system. He's fighting Francis Bartholomew, who's been finished once, but if you go and watch that Gary Antoine Russell finish, it was a bullshit stoppage. I don't know what was up with it. I don't know if it's the ref just was on some bullshit. So go and watch the stoppage against Gary Antoine Russell. I like Frank Martin by decision at plus money. And again, I think it's value all the way up to essentially minus 130. It may be a better live play too as well. But the issue is when the books start to see, because Francis will come out hot and heavy, as you saw against Gary Antoine Russell in round 1 where he hurt him. There was another fight where he came out hot and heavy and hurt his opponent in round 1, but I'm blanking the name right now. With all of that said, I think has the huge size advantage. I think he's tough. I think he's technically never been finished in his boxing career. Shout out to Combat Sports Today. What's up, Phil? My dog, Combat Sports Today, the legends. With that being said, I think Frank Martin by decision is a great play. 10-round fight favors everything in this case. Even though Francis is almost 40 years old, I don't think he has had his chin cracked all that many times. So give me Frank Martin by decision. I see a lot of people on him by knockout, and I just don't think it happens. I don't think Frank can punch out of a paper bag at 135, and it's not going to happen at 140 against a bigger opponent. So, and PJ, you're saying, why didn't you take no distance? Which fight are we talking about? Why didn't I take no distance? He got knockouts in rounds 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm assuming Jai Apataya. There's zero value in no distance, like literally none. It's like minus 900. There's nothing I can do with a minus 900. I wouldn't even parlay that with your bankroll. So that body shot coming. It could be a body shot. I think he's going to catch him with a sweeping hook while he's circling off. So is there anything else that you like too as well, Steve, here for you? I have another live stream I got to do in about an hour and a half, and I got to walk my dog. So I'm kind of glad that we busted through this bad boy. But give us some free ball, as we're going to call it. What are some things, just some overall thoughts you like for this weekend, going into this weekend? We have a big weekend. We didn't talk about Pitbull, Cruz, and Roach. Did you tape that by chance? That is the one fight I did not get a chance to tape. I'm gonna be honest. I got so much tape done on so many random things that's a fight that I did not get a chance to tape. So I don't really have a call on that, and I'll be live betting that fight. Did you get a chance to tape that one?
No, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be on Pitbull. So hopefully the tape doesn't sway me off, but I'm excited for that. I didn't do a lot of boxing. Obviously, I spent a lot of time on Elif and Jai, and I was like, I'm really excited about this card, and I was hoping that you would give me some some of your top 5 bets would be in boxing. So I wrote them all down: Sean McCollum, Peter McGreal, and I'm going to take those first. See if I can lock in the bets there. But I usually don't have that many boxing bets, so I already have 2. So, and I really love this like UFC pay-per-view card. I love it so much, despite not having many bets. But I can see a bet on every single card. If you know me as a bettor, like I leave things till the day of the fights. I watch the weigh-ins. I sleep on it one more time, and then I wake up. And then sometimes if I'm down, I chase with those leans. Other times if I'm up, I don't play those leans, and they lose. And I'm like, oh, good thing I passed. So that's why I don't lock in all my bets all the time. So boxing nothing at the moment, man. I've given out what I could give out. Jay and Alif, I'll still see because I might be cut about her losing like a competitive decision for half a unit, but there's value there. So free bowling. I think Cage Warriors, there's some good spots. I taped a little bit last night before bed. I'm going to look into George Steins versus Eon Harris. I think George Steins is a big favorite. He could potentially lose that, but we'll see. I don't want to talk too much about it. And UFC. All right, so let me tell you. So Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricoli. Obviously, a lot of people talking about this under 1.5. He's busted a few under 1.5 rounds. There's got to be some sort of play there. It's a squash match. I'll look into that. Basically, this card is violence for me. I was like, oh man, I'm going to like the Malik under. I'm going to like the Ibo Arslan under, the Edson under, the Terrence under, the Grant Dawson under. And but I've only locked in 2. So now I'm just kind of assessing which ones do I like the most out of the remaining. So maybe Malik round 1, maybe Malik round 2 KO. Ibo Arslan. I'm very close on Ibo Arslan as an underdog. I just feel dirty like giving out a fighter like that as a pick for people to tail. Because he is a bit of a bum. He's lost fights in UFC. I was fading him before. So now playing him makes me feel dirty. But essentially, Ibo, this guy is a Dana White Contender Series guy. All round 1 finishes. He's a typical Polish brute. And, just all finishes, no adversity. And a couple of times he had adversity in amateurs, he was finished. He lost. So I think Ibo is more proven. And the reason I haven't played the under is because if Ibo does win, he could potentially go over. He's got a couple of fights that went over 2 fights in the UFC that have gone over 1.5 rounds. And the one guy that didn't, it's Rafael Coqueiro, the guy that everyone finishes. He just got finished in 30 seconds in his last fight. So Ibo, man, I just think he has more decision equity.
His opponent's never been out of round 1, no?
Ever. And not only that.
Okay, because I was looking at, this was one fight I was looking into, actually.
Not only that, but even like on amateurs, there's one fight where he got out, and I remember taping this for the Contender Series. He got a takedown in round 2, and he gassed from the top, and he got knocked out from the top. He was laying in the guy's guard resting, and he got like from bottom. But it's assumption. Like he might improve since then. Maybe he was off that day. These are the things we don't know, and this is why he was such a big underdog with Dana White Contender Series. And I think even knocking out Muhammad Ali, that tells me nothing, because if you look at his whole entire career, which I did, he never really slumps anyone like that with an overhand right. It's usually ground and pound KOs. He dropped someone, but maybe you can drop Ibo because Ibo is very hittable. But essentially, it's just a dog or pass. Like this guy minus 200, he only covers if he gets Ibo out of there early, in my opinion. So Ibo, and I'm also considering the under, but I don't really feel like it at minus 200 because, as I said, I can see it going over. Jalen Turner, I'm probably going to add like Jalen round 1, round 2. It just feels like one of those fights. It's my number 1 bet, the under. So I feel like I can ladder a few more things. When there's a fight I'm confident on, that's probably the smash spot. Vettori not interested. Ziam not interested. Kareem Silva not interested. Terrence McKinney, I'm gonna play some other things. Like, what do you think of the fact that Duncan McKinney is now almost pick him?
I'm curious about that, man. I want to know what people see in it. I mean, if you're going to play McKinney, everyone knows there's only one way to play it. You play it round 1. And he himself, he says you're going to see, what do you say, McKinney Magomedov in there. So
he's taking the piss.
Yeah, you think
he's trolling. He said he's going to be boring in there, but he's not. When you like have low IQ like McKinney, you can tell when someone is trying to joke and it doesn't really. They don't have sarcasm.
I wouldn't doubt if he shot for a takedown. I wouldn't doubt that. But I mean, there's only one way to play as McKinney round 1, but even then the lines are absolute dog shit. But with that being said, I mean, I don't really know what to think about it. That line movement you usually don't see until the day of the fight or weigh-in kind of days, and now we're seeing it this time. It's a little bit interesting, no?
Yeah.
Do you follow the steam?
I never follow. I'm contrarian, bro. I go the other way, and I'm thinking now, do I play Duncan because you're
going to get him?
Yeah, it's pick 'em, man. He's almost an underdog, and I get it. It's a pick 'em fight because anyone can die. Like round one, McKenny can kill anyone, and he can definitely kill Duncan because he's super hittable, super slow, and he also got steamed on the ground by freaking Torres of all people. But when it gets out of round one, it's like Duncan's going to be a massive favorite. So they all have massive favorite upside, and it's volatile. So for that volatility alone, it should be like 50-50. But I'm like, all I need Duncan to do is survive 5 minutes, and then I have massive upside. Whereas McKenny, I need him to finish in round one, and there's a bunch of people that he couldn't finish in round one. So I'm thinking maybe do I add the money line as well, and then he covers my under 1.5 rounds if he goes over, and Duncan is kind of not the best finisher. Do I play? There's so many things I want to play, man. I want to play McKenny round one takedown. I want to play Dawson round one takedown, which happens in every single fight like clockwork, is minus 200, right? That hedges my max bet of, whatever. Or if you think it's going to go over, Dawson round two takedown is plus money, man. Plus money. So if you like the overs, if you like starts round two, or round three takedown for Dawson, it's going to play like plus 130 or something, 150. So if he goes to round three, he's getting a takedown in round three. That's just facts about Dawson's fights. So there's so many things, man. I just haven't locked it in to like tell you. I have it over 1.5 in Jan Guskov, but it's plus money. It's like a wrong line. It's basically what the 2.5 should have been, but they'll honor it. So I still have it there. And I basically want to play Jan Blakovic. I just think he's got too many layers to striking. Calf kicks, leg kicks, counters, like way more durable. And I don't know how Bogdan's going to handle that. Plus, he's got bad jiu-jitsu. So, and the money's coming in on Guskov, so I don't mind fading that. I don't mind fading the public either. Talbot,
I love that play, just so you know. I think Jan, you know what the funny thing is? I think Jan's fighting style has also helped him age gracefully into his fighting style. It's never been too high pace, too intensity, never been overly damage based either side. He hasn't taken too much damage in his career in general. And he has the best, in my opinion, leg checks in the game. The way he checks leg kicks is next level, man. So I think there's a lot of equity in Jan Blachowicz, personally. Yep. So I love that you brought that up, mate.
Yeah, it's just a bit scary. Sorry, I'll let you go. I'm waffling on a lot. It feels like Zhang versus Shevchenko, and I was on all the shows on my podcast. I was like, man, this is a levels fight. Shevchenko, last time Zhang fought someone that can strike and grapple, it was Rose, and she lost twice to her. Like, she's overrated. Her title defenses are not great. And then everyone was just like playing Zhang. All the sharps were playing Zhang. The whole world was on Zhang. And it was slight minus money. And I feel the same way. I'm like, Jan, it's Jan all day. But people are playing Guskov. All the sharps are on Guskov. They're like, he's 42 years old, like 10 years age gap. And I haven't locked it in. But my gut is just like, Jan. But I couldn't shut out the noise for the Valentina fight. And then when she got that round one takedown, I was so pissed. I'm like, this was the best bet, one of the best bets. And I just, sometimes there's no excuse for passing other than the noise. And I hate that. I hate to admit that noise got the better of me after all these years of betting, So Jan feels the same. I'm like, yeah, they're right. He is 42 years of age. But, man, what, is he going to suddenly get knocked out by Guskov? After, like, Pereira, Ankalaev, and Olberg? Man, Olberg would run through Guskov in 30 seconds, in my humble opinion. 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute.
Guskov's a gas bag, too, as well.
I think it's a bit overrated. I think his cardio is not as bad as people think. Because I remember taping, like, I was on him every single fight, like Pauga, and just, I've been on him. He's got some round two equity, maybe round three. But
Pauga. My man brought up Zach Pauga. Beautiful.
Bro, round one KO, beautiful plus money.
If it doesn't go to round three, then does Dawson takedown props void? What do you mean by that exactly here for you? Stand on business. Boxing, MMA, 6-leg would go crazy. This is the 5-star bets right here, but stand on business. My boy Mike Talks will be on in about literally an hour, and he would love to make a 6-leg boxing and MMA parlay. That sounds like his kind of thing here for you. So we'll get that out for you, actually. We'll get you one of those 6-leg boxing MMA parlay. I can't promise I would play it because I don't play parlays except for like maybe 2-leggers at most, but yeah. And what do you mean by that, M80? If it doesn't go to round 3, then does Dawson takedown props void?
I know what he means. No, he won't void. You'll lose your bet. If he has a round 3 takedown and someone gets finished, then you'll just lose your bet, unfortunately.
Oh,
that's
okay.
How we do. That's why you have to be selective.
All bets action then in that case.
Correct. So if you're thinking Torres is live to kill him in round 1, which is very live, then don't play a Dawson round 3 takedown.
think Jalen round 1, Malik round 1, Io Kutalab, what's it called? Ebo Asplan, who's IWO?
Evo is his opponent. Evo versus Evo. It's pretty confusing. Evo's the Polish guy.
That was like me taping Beatrice versus Beatrice earlier, or Fajeda versus Fajeda earlier. That shit was like, what am I doing, man?
I think you muted yourself, but I could probably, I reckon if you tailed, I don't usually give out parlays on my show, but if you tail these, you probably hit it, man. If you play,
here we go. Let's go stand on business. He has a parlay for you. Let's get it.
If you play the turn up like round 1 or 2, under 1.5, if you play my almost max bet, Torres doesn't go to decision, and you play Jai round 1 to 6, and I'm just picking like the safe options for the, it's a little bit chalky, but you put those together, man, that'll hit. That shit will hit. Or if you want to play Malik round 1, round 2, it's a bit under -200. It's a bit chalky, but in my opinion, these are all hitting. Like, I would probably parlay this tomorrow, and I'm not really a chalky parlay guy, and you can just probably end it with Marab at the top. Like, it's going to be minus EV probably, maybe a 3-2. He squeezes out a 3-2, maybe a 4-1 on the scorecard.
I'll add to it to make it 6 legs. You got Turner under 1.5. Torres Dawson does not go. I'll leave it in the comments as well. Torres Dawson does not go. Jai 1 through 6. Malik round 1 or round 2. Lara knockout. And
Lara the boxing guy that's having a short.
Lara's gonna fucking kill Johan Gonzalez, man. Johan Gonzalez runs into traps and entrances naked. Go watch the fight against Shane Mosley, or not Shane Mosley, I'm sorry, Jesus Ramos Jr. running into traps, running into left hands. Then he took a life career beating against Yo-Yo Tejas, who beat the dog out of him. And now he's taking this fight on short notice against one of the best left hands in boxing against Lara. He's gonna run Lara into something disgusting. And then let's add Marab for your case. So that you have Turner under 1.5. Torres Dawson does not go. Jai 1 through 6. Malik round 1 through 2. Lara KO and Marab. That probably pays, that should probably pay minimum of plus, 10 to 1.
What's the Lara KO? It felt like a squash match. I just want to see if it's
minus 160. I would line it a little bit higher than that, to be honest with you.
As in more chalky?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it's like if I were to give it like a probability on it, I think it has a very high probability of it happening. Like, I think if they were to fight 100 times, this guy's getting knocked out at minimum 70 of them.
Lara's the guy that killed
Zarafa.
Zarafa, the Aussie guy. He ran through him.
Yeah, I mean, Zarafa pushed him against the ropes, and he was just setting traps, and he pulled him into that left hand and fucking smoked him.
Absolutely. He's a big power puncher, right? Big power puncher.
Lara has a hell of a left hand. He's a little bit hesitant, and he's older. He's 42 years old, but he was training for 12 rounds for a dangerous ass Janibek. And, I just don't think Johan Gonzalez, who has issues with southpaws already, who's taken a career-altering ass whooping in just about 13 months ago, I just think he's going to run into something, especially the 12 rounds doesn't favor him not to get finished. So you're giving me minus 210 number on him, like almost 160. I got him in a parlay at a minus 140. And I parlayed that with something else. So yeah, I mean, that's really what I got.
Can I ask you one more boxing question? So I'll let you go.
Because you could ask as many as you'd like, good sir. I know you have a baby.
Yeah, but he's with the wife. I just came home from training, and she's like, "Can you look after him now?" I was like, "I got a pod in 2 seconds." So she's
Lara knockout was minus 140, not Lara. Lara knockout was minus 140. It opened up at minus 130 actually, and I missed the minus 130.
I'm gonna take that ASAP because it's stuck out. So the boxing card tonight? So Jai Petaya.
Yeah, Jai.
What do you think? What do you think of Paul Fleming as an underdog?
I think he's a good underdog. Johnny likes him a lot here. I think he's only lost to Charlie Suarez, who I rate very highly. I think Paul Fleming, good right-hander, good weight. He doesn't really pull you into traps, and he likes to catch and shoot a little bit more than I like to see. But I think Paul Fleming's a good underdog, and that's more of a fade, in my personal opinion, of old boy Jake Wiley. Jake Wiley sucks ass, man.
Yeah, I thought that.
I'm not a fan of Jake Wiley. Unfortunately, we don't have Paul Fleming on my book. So in any book in the United States. So none that I've been able to find, at least. So I'm not going to be able to bet on it. But he is he should win, quite frankly. Again, Jake Wiley's just not good, man. He's not someone I'm very high on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
looking and I don't have anything. I have Ben Mahoney, Winston Hill, Japataya, and then I have Jack Gregory, Hayden Emerson. So
good stuff. I think
yeah,
that's a successful pod.
I think it was a hell of a successful pod. I appreciate you being on, mate. Give a plug on where to find you. Guys, if you don't know, by the way, definitely go check out Big Steve, and he's going to give a plug too as well. If you guys don't know, my Patreon link is in my YouTube link, my Twitter link too as well. If you want all my official picks and plays, it is in my Patreon. So it's Big Steve. Want to plug up your Discord, whatever you would like to plug, good sir.
Nice. I didn't know you started your Patreon. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I just have a channel, Big Brain MMA, free stuff. I try to give out every single bet that I can. I've given out these bets on there already, and I post them on Twitter if I can. But I do have a Discord, which it is a paid Discord, but that's just because I want to place with a bunch of sharps. I've got like more than 50 sharps in there. Yourself are in there as well. I am looking for more boxing people, so and you can just join that as well. It's in my. If you want to place the chat fights all the time and where people are not, sharing their 10 leggers, 10 chalky leggers and bragging about their wins, and everyone shares their bets. I share my bets in that Discord. So, but other than that, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and or just ask me. I try to share my bets as much as I can.
You're a good dude, Steve. We need more people like you. So with that being said, y'all, I'll be live in about another hour with my boy Mike. As always, guys, it's love. It's peace, it's chicken grease. Go give Steve some love. Have a good one, y'all.
Should I listen to your other podcast?